When I got my student visa to Australia, I was super excited that I would be studying full time in the university and working part time in a job offered by the university. But after I came to Australia, the situation was not as I expected. Do you want to know more? Then listen to this video. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm Santoshi Reddy. I help international students on various career aspects such as upskilling, reskilling, and also sharing my experience from my time as an international student. I also visit high schools in Australia talking about career prospects for younger generations. In this video, I'm going to talk about what part-time jobs are available for international students and how do you find these jobs and how much do you earn from these jobs. And also at the end, I'm going to offer some tips that I have learned from my experiences as an international student. So stay tuned. First component. What jobs are available for international students? As I told you earlier, after I came to Australia, I realized universities have no responsibilities in finding me a part-time job. So I had to look outside of the campus. You can register your expression of interest to work on the campus, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you get a job during your course time. So number of international students just don't rely on the university, they also look outside of the campus. And there are number of jobs available outside the campus, such as you can work for restaurants, you can work for retail outlets or supermarkets, or you can work for petrol stations. And the jobs you can get from these areas are, if you take restaurants, you can work as a waiter or waitress, or you can work as an assistant restaurant manager, or you can work as a receptionist or assistant to a chef. And if you look at retail or supermarkets or petrol stations, you can work as a console operator, you can work as a checkout operators, you can work as assistant store managers, and you can also work in stock filling positions. You can work in bakery sections, you can work in meat section, or you can work in dairy sections. So the number of sections that you can work in the supermarkets. And these are some of the jobs that are available for international students. Number 2 component, where do you find these jobs? When I came to Australia, I heard lots of noises saying that you don't know anyone in Australia, that's going to be impossible for you to get a part-time job. Or you don't have reference, oh, that's not possible. If you have reference, then only you are able to work, get a part-time job. These were some of the things that I heard when I came to Australia, but ignored all of those, because if you have that, then it's advantage, but not necessarily that you don't get a job. So there are number of job search websites and also a major companies that offer part-time jobs to international students. So let's explore on that. The first one, job search websites. In Australia, there are 2 major job search websites, which is seek.com.au and indeed.com.au. So you can go on these websites and start looking for the jobs of your interest. And the second one is, there are 3 major supermarkets in Australia: Woolworths, Coles and Aldi. These supermarkets offer number of opportunities for international students. So you can go into their website and look up in their career section and apply for the jobs of your interest. And the third component is that you can look for jobs by networking, which is, you may be asking your seniors, or you can approach your seniors and ask if there are any vacancies available in the place where they are working. Or you can ask your roommates if there are any vacancies in the place they are working. So this is another way of looking for job. So these are some of the ways that you can start searching for part-time job. And one more thing I would like to say here is, the more rigorous your search is, the more quicker you get the job. How much do you earn from these jobs? Yes, this is an interesting question for you, because you may be working for the first time in your life, and that too on a foreign land, and you must be very much interested to know how much do you earn, and first time how much you're going to have in your bank account. Let's explore on that. There is a national minimum wage rate in Australia, that is $20.33 per hour. So in Australia, the payments are done on hourly basis. And this wage rate is same across all states. So it's wherever, it doesn't matter where you work, but this is the minimum wage rate that you are paid. And in some cases, you may be earning more than this, because this is just a minimum, this is a starting point. So depending on your experience, you may be earning more than what the minimum wages are. At the same time, you may be earning less than this, which is illegal, because in Australia there are a number of companies that pay less than the minimum wages, and recently there were a number of companies were caught for paying under wages to international students and also to vulnerable migrants. So but still this practice is continued by many businesses. Don't worry, if you get a job in that type of organization, work for 2 or 3 months until you get some local experience, and look for a job in a company that pays you minimum wages. And in Australia, if you work on Saturdays and Sundays, you get a different rate of pay, because on Saturdays you get 1.5 times pay, and whereas on Sundays and public holidays you get double time pay. It is quite good, isn't it, if you get a shift on Saturdays and Sundays and public holidays. So this is how the wage system works in Australia. And when it comes to the payments of these salaries, you get paid every week. Especially for casual employees, you get paid every week. And if you are a permanent part-time employee, so some organizations pay on fortnight basis, and some even do pay on monthly basis, but that's more to full-time permanent employees. So this is how the payment system works in Australia. Now it's a time for me to share my experiences from my time as an international student and offer you some tips at the same time. The first, number 1 tip. As I told you earlier, you get paid $20.33 per hour. On top of this, Australian companies also pay you a retirement fund, which is called superannuation in Australia. So they pay 9.5% extra on top of that $20.33, which doesn't go into your normal bank account. So every company has its own superannuation account tied up. So what they do is, for example, in this case, you got a job at Woolworths, and Woolworths has tied with a superannuation company called ABC Limited. So what they do is, because you came to Australia for the first time and you're working for the first time, so you may not have a super account. So they open up a super account on your behalf, and whatever the extra payments they are making, they put into your fund account. And that fund account is used for retirement purposes. You can't access those funds. The tip I would like to offer is, here, when you opened up a super account, try to carry that super account all through your employees. For example, you got at Woolworths, you worked for 6 months and you got a better opportunity at Coles, and try to take your ABC super fund account to Coles as well. So whatever the extra payments Coles pays, that goes into your super account. Because in my case, I was not aware of this concept, and I used to open up new accounts every time wherever I go. So for example, I got a job with employer A, and they had their own superannuation account, and when I moved to employer B, then they have their own superannuation account. So every time I went to a new employer, I was paid into a different superannuation account. So during this process, what happened was, whatever the money I had in those fund accounts, they started decreasing because the administration charges were taking up all my balance. So if you have one account, you won't be paying number of administration charges on a low balance. So your balance keeps accumulating and you would be paying one administration fee. So carry one superannuation account across your career. So that helps you in the long run to accumulate more funds into the superannuation account. That's my tip number 1. Tip number 2. As I told you earlier that international students work in restaurants, retail outlets, or petrol stations. Not necessarily. If you have experience in your field of study or field of work, for example, what I mean by that is, when I came to Australia, I had prior experience of working as a process associate for 11 months in India for a multinational bank. So I came here as an international student and I started looking for similar jobs in Australia. Then I was lucky enough to find a job in my field of study that not only helped me in the short run but also in the long run, which helped me for my migration purposes. So if you have experience in your field of study, or if you have certain experience in any field not really relevant to your field of study, try to apply for similar jobs in Australia. So you may have a chance that you would be working in that field and which may add value at the later stages of your life. Tip number 3. So you worked in Australia part-time and studied full-time for 2 or 3 years, and you have decided to move back to your country permanently, or you got another opportunity in another country and you want to go there and work permanently there. And in Australia, because all these years you have worked, and remember, you have accumulated superannuation account. Remember I said that employers pay you extra amount on top of your normal wage. Make sure that you take with you, because there is a little process behind it that you have to apply to the superannuation fund, saying that you are moving back to your country permanently and you don't have an intention of coming back for work purposes to Australia. So in that case, that fund account gets transferred into your normal bank account. This is forgotten by many international students and also many migrants, because Australia is not only a place for migrants and international students, it's a place for seasonal workers or working holiday visas holders. So what they do is they come here, work for 6 months or 8 months, and then they go back to their country. So they don't claim this superannuation. So number of superannuation organizations say that the number of billions of dollars sitting in those funds, which is not claimed by their owners. So make sure that you claim your hard-earned money when you're traveling back to your country permanently. These are the 3 tips that I would like to offer you and hope they are useful to you. And if you find this information useful, please share and subscribe to my channel. I'll get back to you with another topic. Until then, bye. Thank you.